I'm Greg with Hoss Tools. We're going to be using our new seeder today to plant a cover crop in our garden. We'll be planting red crimson clover. Clover is a great cover crop because it's a legume. It adds nitrogen back to the soil. Also, it has a lot of organic matter, the leaves and stuff that you add back to your soil, which helps a lot. Some misconceptions about clover is with the inoculates. A lot of people don't understand the inoculates. And the one we're using today is a coated clover, which makes it real easy because that inoculant is actually coated onto that clover, and we don't have to worry about having to get the inoculant on there, because that can be kind of a messy situation. The inoculant that you buy separate comes in a bag is kind of like real fine dust, and getting it to stick to those seeds is kind of tricky. You can use a type of Coca-Cola, or you can use water, you can use some other things, but you have to get the consistency just right, and then at that you still have some problems sometimes. And those powdered inoculates don't last as long when they go into the soil as the coated ones do. The coated inoculates will last somewhere in the vicinity of 3 weeks. So that's the reason I would prefer using the coated inoculates. Also, it helps evenly distribute it throughout the seeds, and works a lot better in the planter. If you get any kind of moisture in a lot of the mechanical planters, you're asking for problems. And that's one reason, another reason I like the coated seed. The inoculates, a lot of people think has something to do with germination, but it has absolutely nothing to do with germination. The inoculates is a beneficial bacteria that helps that clover attract and retain nitrogen. So if you're planting clover just strictly for a cover crop and you don't care that much about the nitrogen, or you plant it in a food plot and you just for wildlife to eat or whatever, it's not essential that you use the inoculates. I always use the inoculates because we don't know if we got enough of that beneficial bacteria or not. If you got enough beneficial bacteria in your soil, then the inoculate's not needed. But for safety precaution, we always use the inoculant when we can. Have I ever planted without the inoculant? Yes, I have, and got a good stand. If you got soils that have had clovers in them in the past, and you could probably get by without using the inoculant, but no more than the cost, it's a good idea to use them. So I made me a plate to plant the clover. I just took a number 3 plate and I drilled it out because I want to plant the clover really close together. So I put a few more holes in there, and I'm planting about 1.5 inches apart. I drilled out the holes a little bit because I'm dealing with a coated seed, as you can see here, and that coated seed makes the seed a little bit bigger. So I had to match my seed up to my seed plate. So it took me 5 minutes at the most to drill that plate out and to get my spacing where I wanted it at. As you see here, there's leaves, there's some organic matter, and there's some grass and stuff here in the garden. And that's the great thing about our new seeder. With this rolling coulter down here that opens the fur, it's going to roll right over that. So, you know, if you got a little trash or it's not completely level, whatever, it's going to work fine for this type of planting. So it took us just a few minutes with our Hall's cedar to plant the clover in the garden spot. October is the best time in South Georgia to plant clover. You get a better germination in October than you do any other time of the year because clover is a winter annual. The red crimson we planted today is really good for bees. It seems to bloom early in the spring. It has a pretty color to it. It's the same one that you've probably seen on the right-of-ways years ago that grows, looks like strawberries. Another good one that we like is the white Dutch. The white Dutch clover has a lot more heat tolerant to it, and it'll grow on into the summer. I have seen it grow pretty much all summer long. It thrives in the springtime. So if you got a situation where you need to grow in more heat, consider the white Dutch. Otherwise, a lot of other clovers will do just fine. Thanks for watching, and check out our website, www.hosstools.com. Thanks.